Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Motor City Uncut, episode 149, presented by the Major Sports Network Detroit, here on September 17th, 2017. I'm your host, Dorf, joined each and every week by Major Sports Network founder Adam Hernandez, and look who decided to show up this time, Shawn Bell. Right? We only get him, what? You said this week, and then you're missing the next two?
Yeah.
Sorry, boss man, this is news to you, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we only get to keep him one time.
Shawn's gonna miss some shows.
I know, man. If I had this body attendance, you would have fired me a long time ago.
It's kind of funny too, considering Shawn was ripping on you.
I know.
Oh yeah,
the
one time,
the one time I take
something off for my brother's freaking wedding. I don't hear the end of it for what, weeks?
Yeah. So mine's similar to yours. Next week's my birthday, and Amanda's and I's anniversary, and then the following
excuses are like assholes.
And then the following week, I have work because we have our first show.
Everybody has them when they all stink.
That's true.
Excuses are like assholes.
That is very true.
Whatever. Welcome to the program here tonight. If you do want to join us on the phone, give us a ring at 203-718-6769. That is 203-718-6769. And before we go any further, I just want to remind people what comes up next after this program, the 300th episode of the Majors Live. So we got some special cool stuff planned for you. So join us there over on themajors.net at just after 7. 7 Eastern, that is, tonight. So, or you can also live stream it on the same YouTube channel if you're watching it there on YouTube, or over at the national Facebook page at Major Sports Network if you're streaming it there. So, all right. Well, earlier today, the Tigers actually managed to A, win a series, B, almost throw a no-hitter. Matt Boyd did lose his no-hitter. Yeah, Matt Boyd of all people.
Matt Boyd
of all people. Lost a no-hitter with the just before the final out, falling behind 2-0 to shortstop Tim Anderson of the White Sox, who then doubled to the gap. If there was a major league competent defensive right fielder in right field at that time, that ball would have been caught. But hey, at last we have Nick Castellanos out there. Smile. Can't see my smile. I got him popping behind the microphone. Defensively competent. But we don't, because we like playing the Gumpy Deer out there instead. So,
which I got hammered for making a snarky comment about Nick Castellanos playing out there, and I'm not going to go into it anymore because Dorf, we talked about it last week.
People are dumb.
It's just it's amazing.
They're so willing to take the party line and just slurp it on up.
Where are we at? We're talking about Boyd's no-hitter. Let me get one more thing in here afterwards, okay?
Sure.
Well, actually, no. I'll.
The only other base runner you allowed besides that Anderson double was a walk to catcher Brantley.
Because we're going to be talking Brad Ausmus too, so I'll insert it into when we discuss that.
We are talking Brad Ausmus later. That is our next topic. But with that in mind, like I said, the only other blemish is a walk to the 9-hitter, of course. Mm-hmm. Former Tiger Rob Brantley, actually.
Yeah,
he was part of the Anibal Sanchez trade.
Yep, and Omar Infante deal.
Yeah, Anibal Sanchez and Infante for Brantley, Jacob Turner, and somebody else. Tigers won that deal, by the way.
Yes, they did. Yes,
because Brantley was supposed to be all that in a bag of chips and turned out to be terrible, and now he's on this fourth organization. I'm assuming we all know the Jacob Turner story. So,
I'm assuming anybody that Dave Dombrowski drafts
isn't Jacob Turner with the White Sox?
No, he was with the White Sox last year. He's actually, I believe, in the Nationals bullpen.
Jacob Turner is?
Jacob Turner, I believe, is in the Nationals bullpen.
I'll look it up real quick.
He's made a couple starts for him this year, too, but I know he's been with the Nationals for the majority of the season. So
I thought he was waiting tables at a Denny's. That's what I thought he was.
I hope he's not that desperate considering the signing bonus he got. Sheesh.
Yeah, he's with the Nationals.
Currently on the active roster?
It's played in 18 games. He started 2 games for him.
Yeah, I told you.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. Good for him. Seriously, good for him. Good for him.
It's on the Major League roster.
He has an ERA of about 5.
But he's on the Major League roster.
Bad for him.
You know who else has a ERA above 5? Matt Boyd. He almost threw no-no today.
So does Rick Porcello almost.
Guess what? He's about to go to the playoffs.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Anyway, so back to the Gumpy Deer in right field that should have caught that ball. You had Alex Presley, Tyler Collins, and Andrew Romine on the bench, all who would have, I guarantee, would have gotten that ball.
Right.
I remember I was actually right before this happened. Actually, got in a little mini argument with my dad about this. He's like, "Don't put anybody cold and off the bench; they'll blow it defensively." I'm like,
not when it's Nick Castellanos.
No.
I'm still pretty sure that the cold players on the bench are still better defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I reminded him of the Dwayne Wise catch in the Philip Humber perfect game and how he came in cold and saved the day. So, how that was a great idea.
Which you bring up Philip Humber, which is good indication here because I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of people out there screaming about Matt Boyd and how he's great and everything.
He had a 5.90 ERA coming into the game.
Philip Humber's another one.
Philip Humber was out of the league.
Well, it's a good reminder if you don't have to be a good pitcher to pitch a
no-hitter.
Wasn't Phil Humber?
Yeah, it was Phil Humber.
Wasn't Phil Humber? Wasn't that a perfect game?
It was a perfect game.
Yeah, it was a perfect game.
Well, did you see the last strike call in that perfect game?
I can't remember it.
Okay, it was AJ. I forget who was behind the plate. AJ Przinsky was catching. The ball was like that far off the edge of the plate on a 3-2 count to end the game. Like, oh, sorry, let me get my hands in front of the camera. Okay, that's about 8 inches off the plate. Wow.
Yeah, bad.
Bad. Lucky call. Anyway, so Phil Humber, Dwayne Wise, yes, defensive replacements work. And sorry, your boy Benny Fowler just got hurt.
Did he?
Yeah, he got up and then went right back down.
Whatever. I have like a million mediocre wide receivers on my team. Those get off my teeth.
All right. So, with that in mind, I know we know this answer, but we're going to discuss it anyway. Does this have any effect on Matt Boyd's future with the Detroit Tigers for at least the 2018 season?
Depends on who the manager is. Perfect segue, Shawn. Nice job.
He's a professional. Let's just roll right into the next one then. Brad Ausmus' future. His contract's up at the end of the year. There is no smoke regarding surrounding the situation regarding what they plan on doing with him. Mm-hmm. What do you guys do? What are your thoughts? I'm going to give you guys the floor first, and then I'm going to kind of throw something in the mix here.
As much as I don't want him here and think that he's useless and all that stuff, but Tigers are going to be pretty bad for the next 2 to 3 years, maybe, depending on if they want to start.
At least 2,
right? So
between 2 and 4, I'll give it that.
So, do you really want to bring in a new manager to run that, or you just
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shawn, you're stealing my train of thought here. I know we didn't pregame this. We didn't talk about this. I don't think you're wrong. You're going to suck anyway.
Right, exactly.
So what does it really matter? You're going to want to. Yes, you're going to essentially have a third manager. Let's not call it third manager. So a second new manager by the time you're good again.
Okay.
You're going to need somebody to guide you through the suck. And then you'll hire somebody new when it's time to win again.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing,
similar to how the Astros do.
The one thing I don't like about that though too is, say you lead them through them being awful and all that stuff, but these next few years is trying to see what your young players can do, and you want to build them up to be a successful organization again. But if you're going to do that, you kind of want somebody in there to work with these guys, learn with these guys, and then when they start getting better, they feel comfortable, unless not bringing in a new manager to.
Oh, that's an overrated factor.
You think so?
What,
yeah.
Teaching?
Yeah, you don't need this continuity. You don't need the guy that you in-house already on staff that you want when you're ready to win again.
No,
you don't need that right away.
I agree with you on that notion. However, I mean, to me, Brad Ausmus has done nothing to warrant or deserve a contract extension. As Dorf would say, he's below replacement level.
It's not just me who says that.
I think, okay. Dorf would be one.
That's my term for it.
Dorf would be one to say something like that, sorry. And he's absolutely right. Why should they bring back Brad Ausmus when there's plenty of other guys out there to see what we can get from them? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have to keep on continuing with a guy in Brad Ausmus. Let's be totally frank here. Brad Ausmus isn't a guy who can be a good manager, but is just getting bad breaks. Mm-hmm. No, Brad Ausmus is a bad baseball manager. Brad Ausmus has been a bad baseball manager since day one with this team. Why does he deserve another shot at bridging this team into the future?
And I would argue that it's not that he deserves another shot. I'm arguing that your next managerial decision doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think it could matter. Why though put yourself in that position in a no matter situation when you can get a guy in here, somebody new at least, new blood, to at least potentially give this organization something that they haven't seen before. And maybe, just maybe, that next guy that they bring in is a guy that, not only, helps them now, but could also help them later on.
So, you're not wrong here, and my point is that I guess that the amount of times that bad clubs or situations similar that the Tigers are going into now, where that young and experienced manager that you hope grows with the team is hired, the amount of times that guy is still around when it's time to win again are very few and very far between.
You want another reason why Brad Ausmus shouldn't be around?
What is that? Why is that?
Because apparently he has no idea whatsoever how to preserve Miguel Cabrera.
He doesn't.
He has.
I'm not totally convinced that that's not out of his control.
Offhand, it is in his control because he's the one right now. Offhand, you may be right, but offhand right now, remember, perception is reality, Dorf. What we see right now from Brad Ausmus is him not caring about...
At least, you know what, if you're going to put him in the lineup every day down the stretch, at least just fucking DH him.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Brad Ausmus has shown me an inability to work with this everyday lineup. He's shown me an inability...
But like I said, I'm still not convinced that that's not his decision.
And you know what, too? How many times has Brad Ausmus been completely... uncreative when it comes to working with this roster, and Dorf, I will give you.
Remember, he's the one. He's just given the roster.
Well, I'm talking. Okay, hold on. With the everyday lineup,
sure.
With the batting order, with the everyday lineup, and I will agree with you. Hold on 1 second. I will agree with you that for the most part, the teaching aspect from your baseball manager is an overrated concept.
The teaching's done.
Yes, however, putting young players out there in the wrong situations can be extremely detrimental to their growth, especially at the major league level.
Sure.
And Brad Ausmus hasn't demonstrated an ability to be able to do that with this current Tigers roster and past Tigers rosters as well. I don't think he's given the players on this team the best opportunity to win based on the way that he's played them. And I think Miguel Cabrera is a perfect example of that. And the way that this team continually tries to covet Victor Martinez, and I know he's not here anymore. I know he's had heart surgery, but if he's back next year, you can sure bet
be in there 6 out of 7 days.
Exactly.
And especially at the beginning of this year, why was Victor still batting cleanup for so long?
These are.
That's why I'm not convinced that it's not out of his control.
Well, these are just all examples.
Because no manager would be able to look at or justify that to his clubhouse or anybody, that why are you hitting a DH with an OPS under 7 in the cleanup spot? Why? First off, why is you have the guy DHing that has an OPS under 8 on an everyday basis? And two, let alone, why is that guy hitting in the cleanup spot? That's not justifiable on any grounds other than it's not my choice. That's what that's coming from upstairs.
And that, it may be the case. It may be the case, Dorf. I don't know. But again, perception is reality. Here's
what to lead me to believe that it's not under his control. This front office constantly goes up after big name players because you know what? Under the guiding principle of big names put asses in seats, put eyeballs on televisions. And with that in mind, I think they think this fan base is retarded, and that won't watch or won't show up if the big names aren't playing every day. That they're disappointed to come to the ballpark and Miguel Cabrera's getting a day off.
But they're already not. I mean, they're already not showing up, though.
Yeah.
I mean, have you? Look at the attendance.
Yeah, have you seen like these games? Like today's game.
That's because they're bad this year, and I think this is going back over the last 5 or 6 years.
Okay,
that's not just a new problem now, and that's part of the reason you don't hear anybody on Sports Talk Radio bitch about the lineup anymore. Guess why? The big name players are in there every day. Don Kelly. This is back when they were trying to win still. We're not going to talk post-trade deadline this year. Back when they were still trying to win. The big name guys are in there every day, come hell or high water. Regardless of platoon matchup, needed rest, nagging injury, yada, yada, yada. It was the same. It was essentially the same 9. The only guy that got a day off was a backup catcher, the catcher. I think it might be an organizational philosophy that, we don't, we're putting attendance and TV ratings above winning over the long run, because we don't want to hear people bitch on Sports Talk Radio or bitch on their blog or bitch on Facebook that I went to the game and Don Kelly was playing instead of Miguel Cabrera. I want my money back.
But if they're concerned about attendance and TV ratings, then why are you getting rid of Justin Verlander?
Yeah. No. This is prior to the sell-off, because the sell-off was the right move. But what I'm saying is, this is all prior, and this is why I don't think it's under his control. And now that it is, you're starting to see some changes in creativity with the lineup. Now, A, that it doesn't matter, and B, you're trying to rebuild. You're trying guys in different spots, and you know what? You're quite honestly, since the sell-off, if you wanted to make a lineup, an everyday lineup based on the sabermetric guide to success, they've pretty much done that every day. Moving different guys up and down, moving in the order, putting them in the best chance to, and changing who's on the field to put your best 9 out there, regardless of the matchup. Because now it doesn't matter. Fuck, you could hit Andrew Larmont cleanup every day. It wouldn't matter. Your season's over, and it's going to be a long couple of years. I mean, you may want to, tell me to go put my tinfoil hat back on for all this, but I'm not convinced that this wasn't out of his control. And now, that doesn't justify a contract extension, but in Illich-run organizations, being a good soldier has gotten many a subpar, front office personnel contract extensions in the past. And you can see it both in the Red Wings organization, when it comes to their players. Glendening. Sorry, excuse me. And Tigers organizations keeping certain, underperforming personnel around. But being, you were a good soldier, we're going to reward you.
This is a quote from Ausmus via Jason Beck. Baseball players are paid to play baseball. If they are physically able to play, they play. Continuing on. This is going to be an issue for him for the rest of his career. Hold on.
Okay.
Maybe we should sit him the next 7 years, he said sarcastically to Beck, according to Beck.
Okay. There's a difference being able to physically able to play and physically being able to play well.
Okay.
There's a huge difference.
Okay, but that's the quote that's coming from the guy that you're
not defending.
I'm not saying you're defending. This is a quote coming from the guy who you're saying maybe it's not a bad idea that he gets a 2-year extension.
I'm saying it's not a bad idea that he gets a 2-year extension because it doesn't matter who manages this team the next 2 years. So pick a name out of the hat. It doesn't matter. If you want to give it to him, whatever.
Okay, but if that's his mentality,
it's stupid.
When we have some of some of these young pitchers or these young players coming up these next 2 years, is that the type of mentality that you want in your manager when they're
probably not?
Okay, then again, another reason why this guy should not be here. Okay. Another reason why a 2-year extension would not be the best for business.
And why I come up with 2 years is, you know what? Cutting a guy, say you give him a 2-year extension and you Jeff Fisher him and you fire him 3 months later. So fucking what? What's a 2-year obligation to a manager? Nothing. Doesn't matter. Guys get fired. Coaches get fired all the time with 4 years remaining on the deal.
It is if you continue. If Candelario has a sprained ankle and you continue to trot him out there because
he's able to play.
He can still walk. I mean that's a 1 year contract can be just as detrimental to a team as a 2 year or a 3 year.
Sure.
I'm
not advocating for it, but it's not the end of the world. That's I guess that's my point. Shawn, you got anything else on this? You are following my line of thinking, man. Back me up here.
I'm like half and half there. Like I understand like the situation with, what's the purpose of obviously having Austin there if he's just it's a shit show and it's going to be rebuilding whatever. But I understand the other part because you want that manager in there to see what you can do.
And here's the thing: baseball rosters, especially when you're bad, are going to turn over like every 4 years. Especially when you suck, you're going to have none of the same faces around. By the time they're good again, you'll probably have 3 of these guys still. Mm-hmm. That you'll see next year. You'll probably still only have 3 of them. That's probably Fulmer, Norris, and Candelario.
Look,
that's probably all you'll still have.
I'm not going.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not going on probables or hypotheticals or anything like that. I'm going off of what we've seen from Brad Ausmus already and what he's said to the media as recently as today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
That's what I'm going off of here.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to be upset if there's an extension granted or denied. I really don't care. It doesn't matter. I mean, the prime example of this concept is like Bo Porter in Houston. Mm-hmm. When they were bottoming out right after they decided to blow it up and rebuild from the ground up, Bo Porter was hired as the sacrificial lamb. Mm-hmm. When it was time to win, guess who came in? A.J. Hinch. And it's been just off to the races since. Mm-hmm.
Well, just think.
You could keep Brad Ausmus as your Bo Porter. Or Rick Renteria with the Cubs was hired to be that sacrificial lamb to just guide us through the suck. And guess what? Oh, Joe Madden's available. Joe Madden's interested. Come on down, Rick Renteria. You've done nothing wrong. We're just gonna, Joe Madden's available.
No, I might be on board if he wasn't so nonchalant. Apparently, but especially with player injuries.
You know what that comes to me as?
What?
I'm just going to give you some...
What's your apologetic answer here for Brad Ausmus? What is it?
It's a overly sarcastic response to something he deemed as a stupid question.
It's a stupid question to wonder why you keep on playing a guy?
It's not. Check the report.
Again, a more reason...
Check the report.
More reason to sit here and just prove that Brad Ausmus, even a 6-month contract is a bad idea for this team.
Fair enough.
I mean, God. I mean, this is it's. I don't know.
Whatever.
The guy's baseball inept. That's what he is. He is baseball inept, and
nice
baseball.
Career as a middling catcher.
Yes, you know what? Give him back to San Diego. Have him run errands for that front office. Just get him the fuck out of Detroit.
I would like soy milk in my latte.
Yeah, get him the fuck out of Detroit. I am so sick of seeing this guy work this lineup and run this team on a day-to-day basis. It's awful. And if this is coming, and if this is an Avila thing too, then Avila hasn't done anything to help this team as far as I'm concerned either.
No.
Okay. And you're right. What's the one? What you can say to Al Avila? He's done well unloading expensive pieces. He's gotten good value for the guys that he's been able to deal. But his free agent signings are.
Yep.
So, all right. Anything else, Tigers guys?
The lineup next year is going to be awful.
James McCann's probably going to be your 5-hitter.
Yeah, you have McCann, and then at first base, who knows if it's going to be Cabrera or Hicks.
It's going to be Cabrera.
It's going to be Cabrera.
And then you got
if Brad Ausmus here, it's going to be Cabrera.
Yeah. And then you got Kinsler and Iglesias up the middle. Then
I'm not convinced Kinsler's option gets picked up. They might just say, "Here's $5 million, now go away."
You imagine your outfield's going to be Mata, Jones, and Castellanos.
And you know what? That wouldn't be terrible.
Defensive wise, I'm happy with.
That wouldn't be awful.
Right.
And you're going to get more than enough. Jacoby Jones is either going to be a major leaguer or where he's got to be a little bit better than what he is now, or he's not going to be anything at all.
Yes.
So, you know what? I think this kind of giving him pretty much full reign of the outfield this last month and just letting him sink or swim isn't a bad thing.
Mata,
I want to see his numbers.
Hopefully he keeps doing what he's doing. Mata come out of nowhere. He's been doing great the past month and a half.
Yeah, he's been
good since June.
Yeah,
it's been incredibly good since June.
I think that was a good move by Avila.
Yeah,
picking up on a guy that
you know what you got him for?
Nothing.
Free. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I mean
it was a dead asset to somebody else, and
it was a guy that the Rays gave up on. They figured that no further use for, and
Jacoby Jones since recall from Toledo, 173 with a 507 OPS. Although this doesn't include today's. Although his batting average on balls in play since his recall is 154, so I mean, not that he's putting the ball in play, striking out 22 times in 55 bats. So whatever, he's either going to get it or he's not. I think he gets his chance at the beginning of next year, and if he doesn't get it, it's over. Guys, he's not young anymore. He's 26 with a half year of big league experience.
You're talking about Jacoby Jones.
Jacoby Jones. That's not young anymore.
No, I'm not. I'm not incredibly.
I'm not saying I'm not saying you specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will be 26 with a year and a half of a year of big league experience under his belt. That's not young. All right. Next, what's going on with the Wolverines?
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god,
Shawn, why can't they score in the red zone? Good thing Quinn Nordin's not a turd.
Because they can't throw. They can't run either. I don't know. The offensive line is.
Well, Ty Isaac
is doing good, and he was the one who I told you guys when we did the first show of the season.
You did call Ty Isaac.
I said Ty Isaac has to step up and be that running back,
and we all laughed at you like he's going to be a third back, barely going to play.
Exactly, and. Thing is, when he steps up and he's doing what he's doing, there's no passing game. So obviously they don't have to worry about the passing game because Wilton Speight can't throw the damn ball.
Do you guys have any other thoughts? Because I'm going to go on a little bit here.
No, it all comes down to Wilton Speight.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think it does. Their wide receivers blow.
Okay, well,
they have their tight end play is pathetic.
Oh yeah, they don't have no tight end.
Their tight end play is absolutely pathetic, especially blocking. I'm sorry, Zach Gentry is a converted quarterback. Dude can't block anybody. The wide receiver play is atrocious. And quite frankly, the play calling is terrible. You're not giving a young wide receiver core easy reads.
Mm-hmm.
When B, you're making them everything is a fucking fade route or a jump ball. You're not allowing Speight, yes, who is experienced, to develop any chemistry with the guys he has. There's no easy throws. You're not allowing him any easy throws. You're not allowing him to just, easy, three-step throw it in rhythm. There's no screen game. There's nothing. The play calling is awful. The wide receiver play is awful. You know what? The running game is good enough, but all of a sudden they get down in the red zone, try and get cute, stop running the ball on fucking first down where they're getting 6 yards at pop, and fall behind the chains. And fucking field goal time. That's all it is. It's terrible. Terrible offensive game planning and terrible wide receiver play.
And isn't the funny thing, too, is
Grant Perry.
We were calling and talking about how
Grant Perry is a slot gadget player.
The one thing that we were most worried about at the beginning of the year, whatever we're talking about, was the kicking situation.
I wasn't worried about the kicking situation.
Oh, Nordin's
a 5-star recruit.
He's been great.
Well, I mean, not that kickers get any 5-star.
Well,
he was the top-rated kicker in his class.
I don't think anybody should have been concerned about Nordin.
No reason to. It's been very good.
The problem I thought with Michigan this year is our inexperienced receivers and the loss of good field position with Jabril Peppers.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. That was my concern with him.
But at the same time, Donovan Peoples-Jones has been just as good as Peppers in the return game.
No, he's been very, very good for them. But I think that they do have to give another look, another consideration at their quarterback situation going forward, especially working into Big Ten play. I hear you, Dorf. I hear everything that you're saying about the offense.
I still maintain the opinion that Brandon Peters will be your QB by the end of the year.
Well, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong in any of your assessment thus far. However, when it all comes down to it, Wilton Speight is not rallying this offense.
No. There's no momentum and leadership whatsoever.
He hasn't been a plus for this offense, despite everything that has happened. And again, a lot of that may not be his fault. However, a lot of times when it comes to college football, there's always, and NFL football as well, what happens on the field isn't necessarily always one person's fault. You can put play calling, you can put, the play of the
only
player.
time it's one person's fault is, generally speaking, a fumble.
Yes. I mean, there's been plenty of circumstances out there where Wilton Speight has missed receivers, has missed open looks. He's thrown interceptions. He's fumbled the football. He hasn't looked sharp. I think he could still look somewhat sharp in a bad play calling system, and unfortunately for Wilton Speight, that hasn't been the case for him. And with Michigan, they have depth at the quarterback spot.
Yes, they
have depth at the quarterback position.
An elite ton of depth.
Yes, and I think, and you know what, now is the best time to do it. The week before Big Ten play starts, you've got to get this figured out, because you cannot go into some of these tougher games against conference opponents and start treading water or, taking on water for that matter at your quarterback spot. It just can't happen.
Absolutely
Because if that's your mentality, if that's your game plan going forward, then you're going to lose to Penn State. You're going to lose to Ohio State. You're going to lose to Wisconsin. And when something like that happens, there's no more room for error.
I'll tell you what, Wisconsin's offense doesn't look all that great, especially if you ask Alex Hornibrook to have to pass the ball, which I don't think anybody in the NCAA is going to be able to run on Michigan. I don't think that's a foregone conclusion that they'll lose to the Badgers, but you're right about the rest. Penn State and Ohio State will probably blow your doors off. Especially with Ohio State already having a loss on the board.
Oh, they're going to be pissed.
They have to run. And if they still want to win and compete for a national title this year, they got to run up the score at every chance.
And you know what? They're going to get every opportunity to be in that spot, just like Michigan's going to get every opportunity to be in the playoff as well. I mean that's how college football works. The teams with a reputation, it's like the NBA. I mean, You've got Michigan and Ohio State as LeBron James and Steph Curry. I mean, they're going to get the benefit of the doubt on every single call that goes out there. So yes, if they play their cards right, if they run up the score, if they continue to win, then they're going to be fine. However, you start to limit that room for error, and if Michigan doesn't have a quarterback, if they don't have their quarterback situation figured out by that time, they're going to be in big time trouble. And I don't care how good their defense is.
And here's another thing, guys. We need to loop back to the previous topic for a second.
Tigers?
Quotes published from Brad Ausmus about the should you have replaced Nick Castellanos in right field question.
Yeah.
Further proves your point.
What's that?
About him being managerially incompetent.
Yeah.
Got pissed off when was asked whether or not he should have done that.
Oh, I thought you were going to try to relate this to what we were talking about.
No.
Yeah, and I was
this
came across the board here?
Just came across the board here. Published all of 15 minutes ago. All right. The guy threw a no-hitter, and your first question is, why didn't I swap Nick out in defense? This is asinine. Stop with the negative questions. This guy had a great day. No one catches that ball. It's a bad question. I'm not even going to go there. Nobody catches that ball.
Sounds like Donald Trump, man.
True as that may be, Ausmus had speedy outfielder Alex Presley on the bench. Did he even consider it a substitution for Castellanos? No. When asked. Why not? Because Nick's been out there all day. Should I have taken him out earlier? That's a dumb question.
Did he have a mouthful of pasta and some Marlboro Red sitting on his desk?
When Castellanos was still the Tigers' third baseman, Ausmus was often to replace him with defensively sound Andrew Romine when the team was holding a slim lead in the ninth. When asked to win the what was the point to win the game, we had a 12 bleeping run lead. I'm not defending for Nick here. It's a dumb question. It's a bad question. It just shows that the negativity sometimes comes into this room after games. You immediately look to blame or point the finger at somebody because it didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out.
You guys.
Oh, there's more.
Okay.
And when another reporter asked asked the question, no one else had or. Came into the room late and asked the same question because you didn't hear it. Ausmus reiterated, "That's a dumb question." You know why that's a bad question? 2 reasons. 1, nobody catches that ball, and 2, if it isn't hit there, nobody asks.
Okay. Is that
television? The question is asked after the television cameras had left Ausmus's office, so it wasn't the first question he actually faced. But he knew it was coming and was certainly prepared to fire back. What pathetic it is, before you guys even got here, I knew that was going to be the first question, which says something more about the media more than anything else. We should be celebrating this guy's outing. Off the bat, I knew it was hit hard. My first instinct was, that left the park, said Matt Boyd. He struck the ball well, man, but he hit it to the big part of the park. Beat him on the pitch earlier that day, and he was ready for it that time.
He hit a changeup.
Yeah, 2-0 changeup. It was down and away, executed my pitch, and he hit it hard. Hats off to him. That was the last part was from Matt Boyd.
Okay.
Comments courtesy of CBS Detroit.
Okay. We had to trade one of the greatest pitchers that this organization has ever seen.
A future Hall of Famer.
I
don't think anybody will call you stupid for calling him a future Hall of Famer.
We have one of the best pure hitters in Major League Baseball history right now stuck in baseball purgatory on this shithole of a team. Yeah. We had to get rid of J.D. Martinez. We had to get rid of Justin Upton. We had to get rid of Alex Avila, who was in a career year this year.
And Justin, and your closer.
Yep.
Closer.
Yep. We had to get rid of Justin Wilson. We wasted one of the best generations of baseball that this team has ever seen. We are not going to win a World Series for God knows how long, and haven't won a World Series
you're looking
since
at best case scenario. The next time you are able to compete for a World Series is going on at least 5 years.
And we haven't won a World Series since 1984. And this guy, hold on. And this guy wants to go on and talk about some meaningless attempt at a no-hitter today? Are you fucking kidding me, Brad Ausmus? This guy, like I said before, is fucking baseball incompetent. This is what he wants us to focus on. He wants to he wants the reporters to sit down and talk about today. When we lost out on one of the best generations of a comprised team that this fan base may ever see again. We had the likes of Miguel Cabrera, Justin Verlander, David Price, Max Scherzer, Victor Martinez when he was still productive, Prince Fielder when he was productive, Ian Kinsler when he was productive, not at the same time. We had guys in the outfield. We had Curtis Granderson when he was productive. And Justin Upton when he was productive. A guy who came out of nowhere and was sustainable, and JD Martinez. And this guy wants to go in and talk about this and talk about unfair questions or stupid questions. What the fuck is he talking about?
What would have been the perfect counter to that diatribe that he went on against the media?
What's that?
Hey, Brad, you could have given this kid a piece of history if you weren't a boob.
Yeah. Except his...
you had three guys sitting on your bench that are more capable of playing right field defensively, that are actually, regular to full-time outfielders. Alex Presley, Tyler Collins, and Andrew Romine. You're trying to defend a no-hitter from a guy. You're up 12. Something is seriously going to have to seriously have to hit the fucking fan for you to lose. Why not put your best defensive 9 out there? Why? What is wrong, especially in the expanded roster period, with putting your best defensive 9 out there? Nothing. It costs you nothing. Yeah, you know what? At the end of the season, you'll be judged on your final win-loss record. Because you know what? You're not going to be eligible to win the last game of the year.
It wasn't 2014 his first year with us?
Yes.
So
13 season.
So just think, 2014.
No, 13 is when they should have won.
Season.
14 was his first year.
Yep.
So 2014, you look at it. You had David Price, Max Scherzer.
Oh yeah, we forgot about the pitching staff. Woo-hoo!
That top three.
You had 4 future and current Cy Young Award winners.
And you also had Rick Porcello. So your top 4 all have Cy Young awards. So it's
4 guys who had won or will win a Cy Young Award in their career on one team.
Mm-hmm.
In one rotation, all healthy at the same time.
But hey, let's bring him back.
Oh, and you had Anibal Sanchez too, who was your number 5, and back then he was like, I think that was
Dougie Fresh was your number 5 that year. No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Yep,
it was Anibal Sanchez.
Who, by the way, won the ERA title the year before. Was your 5?
Mm-hmm.
Unfucking believable.
Are you sure you want to give him another 2-year deal?
No, I rescind my comments.
and you look at it too. You also had Joaquin Soria in your bullpen, who proved to be one of
Joaquin Benoit, who's been one of the
best closers in the game for a few years.
Benoit has been one of the best 7th or 8th inning arms of the last decade.
And you also had Joe Nathan, who was coming off the best year, but he was coming off the best year of his career the year before when he was with Texas. So you weren't expecting him to tank like he did. So.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more evidence that Brad Ausmus should have been fired a few seasons ago.
Yeah. All right. Back to the Michigan problem.
Well, this is a Michigan problem.
Yeah, this is a Michigan problem.
Specifically the Michigan Wolverine problem.
Okay.
At what point do you start? Let's recap this. Michigan's offense is struggling. At what point do you kind of start, having Lord and Savior Jim Harbaugh shoulder some of this blame for inability to put a productive offense together?
It's never going to happen.
I understand that.
He's never going to.
When should it happen?
When their first loss happens.
Yes. If there's a first loss,
Jesus Harbaugh be brought back to earth.
There's not much.
Oh my God! He doinked another one.
Anyways, for
the thing is,
the South Korean kicker missed those 2 weeks in a row game tying field.
Well, you know what? There needs to be. Well, I don't say there needs to be, but I don't think the criticism is going to come until there's a humbling loss.
And see, I don't think that's going to really happen with the schedule that they have. So it's not going to. They could keep doing exactly what they're doing until they play Penn State, Wisconsin, or Ohio State. Those are the only 3. And we have Purdue this week, Michigan State, and 2 more.
Don't look past Purdue.
Purdue. I forget who did they just whoop on Saturday. They blew somebody's doors off on Saturday. Don't sleep on them.
Hold on a second. I got it. Yeah. Missouri, 35-0.
They just
on the
beat
road.
the piss out of Missouri on the road. An SEC team.
And they lost to Louisville in week 1, 35-28.
A pretty good Louisville. Yeah, you know what? They got pants by Clemson on primetime, but still, regardless, a pretty good Louisville team.
Yeah. And this is on the road, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that humbling loss may come this week. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's true. It's true.
You never know. The way that Michigan...
They play at home, though, right?
No, they're on the road.
Oh, they're in Purdue?
They're at Purdue. In West Lafayette.
Michigan can't play home games every single week.
They only have, I think, 4 away games this year?
They only had 3 away games the year before. 1 neutral siter. 8 home games. Bastards. Sorry. Somebody refuses to play somebody in non-conference play on the road. Who that is. Anyhoozle. Anything else you guys want to talk about Michigan Wolverines wise?
No.
Defense looks really good, though.
Oh, yeah.
Defense still looks really, really good.
Dude, Devin Bush, sackmaster, man. Another sack and a half this week. He's got 5.
The guy's like a fucking missile. I swear to God, the guy
Very
is
small.
Yeah, he's small. He just like he comes out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
He will come out of nowhere
That is
and take your fucking head off.
Modern linebacker. I'm a little bit undersized, but I'm fucking run around everybody who I can't take head on. I'll just run circles around him.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, he's gonna get his ass kicked. Nope.
No, he's usually the one kicking the ass. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fucking missile off the edge and sub packages. Damn. Anyway, cut room floor. Michigan State says sent 10 players down to Houston to help with recovery during the bye week. 2 Spartans contributors, actually starters on offense, are from Houston.
I thought you were going to say 2 Spartans got injured.
I was waiting for that.
I was just like, Jesus. I'm like, please don't get hurt, guys. Please don't, like, strip your ankle of all the flesh by stepping through a hole in the ground.
I was waiting for it. Like, and 2 Spartan injuries.
2 guys are out for the year having to have their legs amputated from tetanus. No. Starting left guard and starting wide receiver Tyler Higbee and Darryl Stewart, respectively, are from the Houston area. Went home and to help take care of things, accompanied by 8 other teammates.
Yep, good for them.
Good for them. Spent their weekend off down there this past weekend. I believe they return tonight.
They do return tonight.
Also, notice I haven't talked about any Lions recap today. It's because they don't play till tomorrow. They're on Monday Night Football tomorrow night against the Gigantes.
And did we all pick them to lose? Do you have the sheet over there?
I think I have them winning.
I think I have them winning.
I don't remember.
Sean, I'm pretty sure
you have the sheet.
You're the only one that has them not making the playoffs, so I'm pretty sure it has to be you. This is a game.
I don't know what to do this shit. It's somewhere around here though.
Okay.
This is a game that they if they
should win.
If they're serious, if they're serious about if they're serious about winning the division, yes, they need to win this game. Giants look awful.
They do.
And
Giants are awful.
I'm not convinced OBJ plays tonight, or tomorrow night.
Yeah, Giants have no offensive line or anything.
Even if they do, even if OBJ does play,
the offensive line got stopped.
Darius Slay, step up, brother.
The Lions' front D is pretty solid looking right now. That Giants' offensive line is going to be in for a treat.
Ziggy Ansah, the only player listed as with a injury designation, he's listed as questionable. A report came out about an hour ago.
And see, I think that helped out with him.
Play.
I think last week having him just being on the field helped out because it took a lot of.
I bet you Ziggy Ansah won't practice a single time this year.
Probably not.
I don't think he'll play. I think he's kind of at that point where wouldn't call him fragile, but. At the point where he probably won't play or practice at all during the week and just will play. So, got anything else, guys?
No.
All right.
I think I might have some sad breaking news here.
Oh, no. Brad Ausmus is fired?
It looks like Bobby the Brain Heenan has passed away.
I don't know who that is.
Yep, Bobby the Brain Heenan, legendary pro wrestling manager.
Okay.
Has he been like sick? Has he been battling anything?
Oh, he's been sick. Have you seen pictures of him within the last several years?
No.
Looks nothing.
I'm gonna
go look him up. He looks nothing like he did. He had throat and mouth cancer.
Oh.
I'll just leave it at that.
Is this like worth it?
And what that does to your appearance when you have something like that.
Eat your face.
Eats your face, yep.
All right. That is going to wrap up tonight's 149th episode of Motor City Uncut, presented by the Major Sports Network Detroit. Join us each and every Sunday night live at 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on where you're watching us, because we're in like 4 or 5 different places right now. So for Adam, Sean, I'm Dorf. We'll see you guys next week.